Welcome to We Are Fine and Neither Are You, a podcast brought to you by two lifetime besties dealing with the beauty and messiness of midlife. Nothing is off limits. Let's get into it. Welcome to We Are Fine and Neither Are You. We are April and April, two lifetime besties who created a podcast to discuss the beauty and messiness of midlife. Today's episode is part 2 of our Women of a Certain Age topic. In the last episode, we discussed menopause, and today we will discuss the metamorphosis women go through in their 40s and 50s, or as we like to call it, our renaissance. So we're excited to be here today and get into it. So how you doing today?
That was a great intro. I'm impressed.
Thank you. I had to read it.
I'll more Chat GPT.
What's that?
I said I'll probably use Chat GPT for my intros.
Well, that's a good idea. I made that all by myself.
I'm very proud of you. I love that. It's great. That's wonderful. Well,
thank you.
Yes, welcome back, everybody. We've loved all the comments and feedback, so keep that coming. It's been so much fun to hear from each of you, and we're just going to keep going. So this is part 2 of Women of a Certain Age, and we definitely wanted to. Well, we'll get into that first, but how was your week? We need to talk about April just came and visited me for my birthday week. And
it was so much fun. Re-entry was a little difficult, I will admit. It was so much fun being out there, and I got to see a couple other girlfriends, which was awesome. And I took 6 days, which was so luxurious.
Have you ever done that before?
Gosh, I don't know. I think my husband and I have taken 6 days, more than 6 days. But I don't think by myself. Yeah, when he figured out like I was going to be gone for 6 days, he was like, "Wait a minute, wait, you're gone for 6 days?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
I know it's tough. It is.
And I'm flying first class, and he's like, "Wait a minute, what the hell is?"
Oh, you guys, she flew on the solar eclipse. I'm like, am I going to lose my best friend? Is she going to blow up? Is it going to like?
I know. I didn't realize that, and I was kind of nervous. I did have to have a little toddy before I got on the plane.
Yes, I know. Having a little airport cocktail is the best. I love that.
It's the only place you can have a cocktail at like 7:30 in the morning and people aren't going to judge you.
It's socially acceptable.
Yeah. There are people drinking. The ones that get me are the people that are drinking red wine at 7:30. I'm like,
that's serious business. I could do like a Bloody Mary, you know what I mean? Like that's a little acceptable, I feel like, or maybe even a mimosa, but you're doing red wine at 8 a.m.
Red wine's hardcore. Yeah, that's like even a martini. Like, I don't know, I can wrap my brain around that for some reason.
Yeah.
But a glass of red wine, just.
Have you ever had a pineapple martini?
No, but I don't like sweet drinks, remember?
That's right. Yeah, April likes I like the sweet drinks, and she likes the more elevated, real deal.
Well,
stuff.
When we were in high school, she would mix her Zima with root beer because
Zima was disgusting. Oh, Zima was like what static electricity would taste like. That's put something in it. All we had was root beer. Oh my gosh, that's disgusting.
Oh my god, and making Zima more disgusting.
And I always wanted to be a martini girl too. I love it when we're out, you guys shall order a martini, and I'm like, there's like little shards of glass in there, or glass, little shards of ice. Hopefully not glass. And it just looks so yummy and good. But nope, I've tried. Remember, I tried to order one before, and it was like.
But you would like a Cosmopolitan or something. Those are kind of coming back into style.
Sour.
Oh, gross.
They're like bright green.
You still drink like you're 18, like.
Well, I'm getting back into the game again.
I
haven't drank for a couple decades. So
yeah, I know. That's true. That's true.
Why that is. That's
we're unfolding why you're finally just drinking again. We'll get to that. But it's funny.
Yeah. So anyways, oh man. But yeah, so April was here for my birthday week, and you guys, I think we might need to make it a tradition. If you have a bestie, you need to just say, I don't want anything for my birthday except you. And of course, she did still get me amazing stuff. In fact, one of my favorite gifts.
Oh,
I love this. It's a little daily oracle. This is kind of like a big girl's magic 8-ball. And I'm obsessed with it. And so you hold it to your heart. I'm a hippie, you guys. I love this kind of stuff. I love astrology. I love any kind of out of the box thinking. And
tell people who are listening, not watching, so they know what you're talking about.
Oh, yes. So I'm holding up this box, and it's called Daily Oracle, or box. I'm holding up this book named Daily Oracle, Seeking Answers from Your Higher Self. And what you're supposed to do is hold it to your heart and you ask a question, just like the little magic 8-ball when we were kids. And then instead of shaking it, you just open it up. So, is today's podcast going to be wonderful?
What does it say? Move forward with grace. Okay, whatever that means.
I know. Do not. I think it just means like, don't worry about the details, right? It's like, we are fine and neither are you. Like, move forward with grace. Do not worry about getting everything right. Just do it. Move forward. Yeah. So anyways, I loved my little gift, but April and I had so much fun. And one of the funny things is, so I am on a weight loss journey right now. And I don't know how much you want to go into. So I'm doing some really great things that are helping me.
It's wonderful for you. Yeah, it's great. And I had no idea that it was going to have residual effects on me while I was visiting her.
Oh my gosh, you guys, this has always been a thing too, because April she is in great shape. And so she has figured it out. And I'm always like trying to find like the get rich quick scheme. And so she gets out here and, I'm not eating as much anymore and, intermittent fasting and everything. She's like, I didn't know that I was going to have to starve to death while I was visiting you.
I was like, it was like 11:30 and I'm like, so are we going to eat today or is today the day we're not eating? She was like offering me amino acid pills for breakfast. I'm like, I actually need food. I'm sorry.
5 pills for 30 grams of protein.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh. I know.
Today an eating day or no?
Oh, so funny.
Please, can I have some food?
Yeah, exactly. And April's like a little chef on the side. So anytime she's like, I'll cook for you. So I go to Trader Joe's and I buy all the ingredients. And this is what's so funny is I don't know if your kids ever tell you I'm starving and then you just went grocery shopping. I told my kids we have food and they said, no, we don't have food. We have ingredients. Yeah. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Put some ingredients together. That's a meal.
Yeah. Being at your house is like being on that cooking game show. What's it called? Chopped. Yeah, being at your house is being like at Chopped. She's like, okay, I got all these ingredients. Now make something. And I'm like, okay.
So, and you have 30 minutes. Yeah. And you have 30 minutes to do it.
Trying to throw something together. Ingredients. So anyway,
it was fun. Stuff for like charcuterie and she put it together just so wonderfully. So yeah. So get a bestie that's a chef, you guys, because it really pays off. And we were all missing your little touch in the kitchen.
Aww.
I don't know. You guys, I've lost I don't care about cooking anymore. I used to love it when the kids were little and you have to come up with 3 meals a day, but I'm like, I'm exhausted. You guys figure out your own damn meals now. So,
well, it's like, when you got married and had kids, you pretty much signed up to cook 3 meals a day for people for the rest of your life.
I didn't realize that.
Even for me, it's so tiring. Some days I just don't even want to think about what to make. I'm like, tell me what you want and I'll make it. I don't care. Like, I can't.
Well, and are you a short order cook or do you just make one?
I'm a total short order cook, but I'm getting better. I'm getting better about that. I'm like, no, I'm cooking this and you're going to eat it. And thanks to my husband, because he's like, you guys are killing your mother. You got to eat, stop. And I'll be like, tonight I'm making a homemade Thai curry. And my kids love ethnic food. They have a good palate. And every time, it doesn't matter what I'm making, it's like, ugh, that sounds disgusting.
No, they do not say that.
Yeah. I mean, every time they're like, what's for dinner? I'm like, oh, I'm making chicken fajitas. Ugh, that sounds disgusting. I'm like,
oh my gosh.
I literally cannot make them happy. So I just got to a point where I'm like, screw it. Because you know what they do is they come home from school and they're starving. And so they eat. Yes. And then dinner time, they're just like, they could care less or food doesn't sound good or whatever. So anyway, it's a struggle in our house too. It doesn't matter if you're a good cook
mom that's like, whatever, make up. In my son who's 17, so that's my baby, you guys. And I'm like, you're 17, you should know how to make like some scrambled eggs or something. And his go-to is always peanut butter and jelly. Always. Like that's as far as it gets. So my husband finally taught him how to do a fried peanut butter and jelly. Cause why not? Why not add a little bit of extra fat to that? But he loves it. But yeah, I'm like, I used to feel really guilty about it too, you guys. And I don't anymore. Like, I'm just like, look, mama's tired. You need to do your own laundry. So my one girlfriend told me if your kids aren't doing laundry by the time they're in high school, like they need to be doing their own laundry. And that has been a huge game changer for me. And it was a little hard at first because I guess a little bit of his control. And then part of it was like, I don't want them wasting, detergent or too much water, or, you don't know if they're going to be doing it right or not, or ruining their clothes. And I'm like, that's a lesson they need to learn. You don't want them to be learning that when they're in college. Right. And then also they can take turns making meals. That's kind of nice whenever they do that. So anyways, no more mommy guilt. You guys do what's right for you. So
Exactly.
April and we had a great time. We went to Erewhon. I made her try the Hailey Bieber smoothie for $30.
My daughters were so jealous. My youngest is like, I've been wanting that for 2 years. What's
Yeah.
that?
Did you like Erewhon? What did you think about it?
Oh my gosh, it was heaven. It
Yeah.
was such a beautiful store. Well, as a cook, I love little markets. And so whenever I'm in like a new town, I love to like check out and see if they have like a cute little market with specialty stuff. And I thought it was awesome. And
Yeah.
I knew it was going to be expensive going into it. So maybe the sticker shock wasn't so
Yeah.
bad for me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I do specialty shop a lot. So I'm kind of like used to spending a little bit more on
Right.
specific items if I can't find them at the regular grocery store. But I just thought it was fun to see all the things that they offered. And their hot food counter was so beautiful.
So good.
Foods look, I mean, they're gourmet coming out of there. It's like it blows Whole Foods. I mean, I think Whole Foods is kind of gross anyway, but it blows their food out of the water. It was gorgeous. And that shake was to die for.
It was
It was
really
worth every
good.
penny. It was worth every penny.
Yeah.
I thought it
was
was
really
delicious.
good. Yeah. And
So
yeah,
she's got
that was
something there.
And then at the very end, you guys were checking out, and they even have the cutest grocery bags, like the
Oh my
bag.
God. Okay, now that's where I draw the line. So they have a really cute, like kind of canvas, or maybe hemp,
Like a
reusable woven tote bag that says Erewhon. And I was like, oh, maybe because I was flying out that next day. And so I was like, oh, maybe I'll get one of these and put it in my bag and I'll use that and look bougie when I go to my little Publix. And I was like, oh, how much is this? And they're like, it was $150.
You guys, $150 freaking dollars for a reusable bag. Are you kidding me?
And I was like, I almost did it because I was like, oh, well, I didn't really buy anything for myself.
That's why.
Yeah. And then I was like, no, I'm just going to pass.
I'm sure Chip appreciated that.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, you flew first class. You can like with
it's valid. It's valid.
$150 shopping bag. But that was fun. And then we went into Hollywood, West Hollywood for your actual birthday and met, I saw a friend I hadn't seen in like 15 years. And we met at the Sunset Tower bar in West Hollywood.
If you live in Southern California, you have to try out this. I mean,
oh my gosh.
I was shocked at how nice
it's like old Hollywood. It was so cool.
The white coats, the guys wearing the white coats and the little towel over their arm, and
the service was insane. And it was just so fun to reconnect with an old friend too, and to introduce you to. We had the best time, and then her husband showed up at the end, and we had dinner reservations, and we ended up just canceling our reservations and staying and having dinner with them because we were having such a great time. But they're awesome people, and we're actually going to we don't want to give away too much, but she's so wonderful, and we're going to have her on because you're going to love her. I know. I can't wait to have her on.
Past her beauty.
What's that?
I couldn't get past her beauty.
Oh, yeah.
I just was staring at her. She's so beautiful, you guys. I cannot wait for you to see her.
She's like beautiful and smart and talented. She's like the
Yeah, I was just like, oh my gosh. And when you meet people, I mean, this is kind of how I felt about you, but sometimes you meet people in your life where they're familiar. Like you just like, where have you been? So it was that kind of a night, and it was perfect. It really was.
It was so fun.
Food too, and the cocktails were amazing. And I've never had champagne service like that before, where they come over and they have the little bucket that they put it in. I mean, it was just, I'm bougie on a budget, you guys. Like my mind thinks I'm bougie, but I have to live in reality. But
you have champagne taste on a beer budget.
on a Bakersfield budget. But that's okay, So it was so fun. And what I love about LA too, you guys, it's so funny. And maybe this might just be West Hollywood, I don't know, but people will walk in and you don't know if is this person homeless or are they going on a red carpet? Like it's such a vast.
Right. That's what's so fun about it.
Like you just show up however you feel comfortable. And I love that. You could just be as weird as you want or as fancy as you want, and you're going to fit in either way.
Yep.
So that was so fun.
That was great. We had a great night. And then from there, we went to a comedy club. We went to the Comedy Store. And I thought I was being like a really cool friend and getting front row stage seats. So it was the two of us front and center.
I do not recommend it at that place. Not all front rows are like that, April, just so you know. I've been to other comedy clubs and the front row is actually like an appropriate distance from the comic. It's not like you're not like head in their crotch. Like this was a very, very front row.
Yeah, we were very, very front row. And it was like, what it was almost like kind of a bar that went around the stage. And then there were seats. And then the table was basically on the stage. And so you literally are looking up at their crotch. It's crazy. And
my neck hurt.
In fact, one of the comedians actually commented on that. They're like, you're the only ones that got the
and we were the only ones, you guys. We had like empty chairs beside us all the way around.
No one was sitting at the stage with us.
And this is another lesson learned too. You guys, as women, I don't know why we can't just be like, oh, you know what, I'm going to move. Like, I don't want to be here, you know, but instead you're like, oh, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, or I want to, you know, go with the flow. Like, but man, we just don't like do what we need to do to make ourselves. But it was funny. It was good.
Well, and we got
crap out of us.
Say that again. You keep cutting out, I think.
Oh, am I? Oh, darn it.
If we talk at the same time, I don't think.
Okay. I was just saying they roasted the crap out of us.
Yes, that was what I was going to say. Because we were the only ones up there, we got it. And it was okay. We can take it. It's not a big deal, but it was pretty funny. It was, I will say, I was really excited for it, and it kind of didn't deliver.
Yes.
What about you?
Okay, so this is what I think went wrong. The very first comic. So really funny people don't have to be mean.
Right.
What I've noticed. So if you're really funny, so I think there was like 8 comics altogether.
Yeah, I think so.
And out of the 8, 2 were women. And I have to say those were the funnier. That I felt like they were the funniest ones because they were more clever and smart with what they were talking about. It wasn't just like, I don't know, like sex jokes or like they were crass. Like it was kind of different that way. But I felt like the first comedian, I don't know if he was feeling insecure or whatever it was, but he started off so harsh with us, and it was like for no reason. Like he was trying to treat us like we were Karens or something, but we weren't. Like we were totally supporting and laughing and engaging.
The thing that bugged me was like, he's like, oh, you guys you can't even laugh. You're not even laughing. I'm like, I'm literally laughing. I don't know what you want, but it was like almost like that's part of his shtick, and he didn't know how to handle it. He didn't know how to handle it. I'm like, I'm laughing, but maybe this is part of your act that you say the people up there aren't laughing to make us look stupid, but you're stupid because it just seemed very lazy. It seemed like very lazy comedy.
Yeah. Like, and kind of ruined like the vibe.
Well, a lot of the men came up and just talked about their junk.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I love a crude joke just like anyone else, but just don't come up and tell me how big your thing is. Like, okay, got it. Thanks. That's not funny to me. Like, say something smart that's funny. And I just felt like it wasn't smart comedy. It was very lazy.
Yeah.
They, talked about, their junk, and they talked about their significant others in like a crude way. And like I said, I say the F word all the time. I can be crude. It just wasn't like, it wasn't smart.
Right.
That's what bugged me. I like smart comedians like Dave Chappelle and Ricky Gervais, who are hilarious and offensive, but they're smart as shit.
Perfectly done. Yeah, I totally agree. So yeah, it was unfortunate because, and then they were coming out, you guys, and each comic was saying, you guys are like the worst crowd ever. And we're thinking, what? Like the whole crowd was kind of like, huh?
Like we're all laughing.
Yeah, afterwards we were in the bathroom, and of course, that's when you make your best friends with all the girls. And we had several people come up to us like, that was the weirdest thing. You guys didn't deserve that. Like, I don't know where they were. So it wasn't even just us. It was like making the whole audience uncomfortable.
Well, you know what? I haven't even told my husband yet. I can't even believe I didn't tell him this. What about the throuple that came in?
Oh, yeah, that was weird. That was interesting.
I mean,
that's LA for you. That's LA.
I know. It was a woman with 2 men, and he was like, "Are you guys all here?" Whoever was on stage was like, "Oh, are you guys here as friends?" And they're like, "We're a throuple." And then he was like, "What?" I mean, everybody was like, "Yeah."
And they all went to the bathroom at the same time and stuff. It was just an interesting evening, to say the least. I mean, it was very bizarre. But I have to say, I mean, there's nothing more fun than going to a comedy club and laughing so hard you're like crying. That did not happen, unfortunately, but we need to do over, because I've got a couple other places that I think you would really love, or even just going to see someone live, one of your favorite comics. That's the best. Who is the Italian guy that's very physical?
Sebastian Maniscalco. I love him so much.
I mean, I cried the first time I saw him. I couldn't.
Me too.
So funny and so physical. So yeah, it was fine. And you know what? We had a great time no matter what. That's how we are.
Yeah.
We stayed in the most beautiful hotel, and it was just great. So our point of this whole thing is go see your best friend, or if you don't necessarily have one, get away by yourself. Like go away at least once a year for just you.
Yeah, it was a
That's
great trip. Like I
yeah.
said, I did miss my family like towards the end, but I was really appreciative of having that time to myself
Yeah.
and my husband for just like handling it while I was gone.
Yep.
It was a good time away. And now I'm like, okay, I need another.
I know. I missed you. I got her on the plane and I was just like, I did not want you to go. It's so hard when your best friend moves away or you have to move away. And we're on opposite ends of the coast, so
Right.
it's tough. But thank goodness for stuff like this,
Yeah,
FaceTime. We do our little walkie-talkie still and all that. So
exactly. Well, so something we are going to add to each of our um, podcasts is a little segment called Check Yourself because we are, human and we make mistakes. And so this is kind of our little fact check before we get going and talk about our renaissance in midlife. And for me, after I listened to the last episode, I was like, oh, I pronounced that wrong, or I forgot to mention this. And so I wanted to fact check myself real quick on a couple of things. And let's see here. Okay, so I was talking about the blue zones. Blue
Mhm.
zones are the 5 areas around the world where they have the highest number of people who live to be 100 years and older. And I think because I didn't have it written down and I know them all, but I was
Yeah.
just, maybe it was nerves or whatever. So I'm going to repeat them so everybody knows. It's Sardinia, Italy. It is, and I hope I pronounced this correctly, Icaria, Greece, and then Loma Linda, California, um, Nicoya, Costa Rica. I think I called it Nicola in the last episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nicoya, Costa Rica, and Okinawa, Japan. So those are the 5 blue zones. And I was talking about how each of them has like a part of one of their philosophies is having a sense of purpose. And I referenced ikigai, which means iki means to live and guy means a reason. And that is a Japanese term. And I left that out. I didn't tell you
Yeah.
guys it was a Japanese term.
To live.
Okay. So we all need to find what our ikigai is, our sense of purpose, our reason to get out of bed.
Yep.
And then the other thing I failed to mention was, we talked about menopause and kind of what we're doing and what works for us. And I mentioned the bio-tea pellet. I think I mentioned maybe a couple of supplements, but I take quite a few supplements to help me get through this and to kind of ward off symptoms of menopause. So I just thought briefly I could explain kind of what I'm doing. And I know you had missed a couple
Yep.
supplements as well too that you wanted to talk about. So I'll just start with my morning routine really quick. We're going to get through this pretty quickly so we can get into the meat. But
Right.
so I wake up in the morning and I drink about 12 ounces of warm water with a pinch of Himalayan salt and about half a lemon juiced into the water. And I drink that before I do anything.
You
And
got me
that,
doing that now.
yeah, it's great, right? And this is for hydration, and it kickstarts your metabolism. I
And
do
especially
that.
for coffee, right? Like
What's that?
you're supposed to do that for coffee before you drink your coffee to
Before you drink your
ward off
coffee.
cortisol.
Exactly. Well, and then also on top of that, everything I've read too is saying that before you have coffee, you need to have protein. So, because coffee stimulates cortisol, which makes, that visceral fat around the midsection that's really hard to get rid of. And so
Right.
if you wake up, and I'm not a person that likes to eat right when I wake up.
No.
So that's been
Me
hard for
neither. I
me.
make you drink pills.
Yeah, yeah, you made me eat pills. Yeah, that was part of the meal plan. Um, um, but anyway, so if you can have some protein in the morning before you have your coffee, that'll be huge. Um, and even like to your point, I was teasing you about the amino acid pills, but actually you should take amino acid pills in the morning. And I've started taking 5 they're 5 milligrams each. So 25, or no, 5 grams each. Sorry. So it's 25 grams of protein that I'm getting like in the
Yeah.
morning. And take that about 25 minutes before you want to drink your coffee. So you can get up like,
25 minutes. That's good to know. I'm going to write that down.
yeah. So like if you get up, like I get up in the morning about 5:45, but usually I have to get up and use the restroom before that, like 5 o'clock. So I'll get up and like take them
Yeah.
knowing that about my body needs to absorb that. And
Yeah.
then I'll get up and I'll have my lemon water with salt. And then Once I finish that, then I'll have my coffee. So at least I have something like that, the amino acids.
Yeah.
So I'll do that. I'm trying to eat a little earlier too, like a high protein breakfast, cottage
Right.
cheese, eggs, whatever I can get that has protein. The other thing that I was just reading about as I was doing my research is that a lot of women are liking to put protein powder in their coffee.
Yes.
So, and I haven't done that. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of genius. So maybe I'll try doing that. But I really,
And does that in the drive-through, you guys. You can get that in their drive-through.
who does Starbucks?
Dutch Brothers.
Oh, Dutch Brothers. Yeah.
Mhm.
We don't
Yeah.
have one, unfortunately.
That's
But anyway,
bad.
so that was just a little like have your protein and before
Then
you
I want to ask also, because this was a good point, why the salt in your water?
So the salt helps, so it gives the electrolytes and your minerals. Yeah.
Yeah. And it helps you absorb the water,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
I texted Joe and it's in the other room, my hubby. Okay, you guys, this is.
Oh yes, that's what I take. That's what I have too.
How do I? Okay, there we go. This is what I like right here.
Yep.
You're gonna see me taking them in live time.
My husband takes those too. Like we both.
Although I wish they weren't pressed pills.
Yeah.
I wish they were more the
Like
what are
the
the
capsules? Like the gel capsules?
better. I wonder why, if they're like this.
I don't know.
Although
they're just like horse pills. They're
do you
kind of hard.
think that they're like this because it needs to have time to release in your body, like the protein?
Possibly. It could be about absorption. I don't know. That'd be a good thing for us to look into.
Do you guys take them all at once, or do you?
I do 2 at a time because you do 5 at a time. Oh my gosh, look at her go. I would puke. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I do that. So I've talked about the water, the amino acids before coffee, and then eating protein. What else? Oh, okay. So the other thing I do, sometimes I'll have a protein shake for breakfast that goes along with eating all the protein because it's important when you eat protein too. It's important to eat a lot of protein in the morning. So
especially as women, and we don't get enough protein.
Yep. So that's what I do. And then I also take Nutrafol, which is the hair growth pills, because some women tend to lose their hair during menopause. And so I'm trying to get out in front of that. And so I've started taking the Nutrafol, and that's 4 a day. I take 4 of those. Then I take 2 omega-3 fatty acid pills that also have vitamin K and vitamin D in them. So that's great because I'm kind of getting all of that in one supplement. So that's what I do in the morning. Yes, I had to write all that down because it's a lot. And then in the evening, I take 100 milligrams of progesterone.
Yep.
I take 5 more of those amino acid pills.
Oh, you do it before bed?
Mm-hmm.
So you're taking it twice a day?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I might have to try that. That's smart.
So that's an extra 50 grams of protein just from those.
I never thought about doing it at night. That's genius, April.
My husband told me about it. My husband, Chip, does it too.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's really smart.
So you want to do it, I think, a couple hours after you eat dinner.
Okay.
So you want to wait a couple hours. So maybe right before
the hunger too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. And then I take one of the DIM supplements. Do you take DIM?
I do. Anytime you're doing estrogen, you guys, you should be taking DIM.
Yes. So
we can link all these too if
we'll link them.
Yeah.
And then I do the two more of the omega-3 fatty acids with the vitamin K and the vitamin D, because it says to take 2 in the morning and 2 at night.
And you don't have to take food?
No. And then I also take 2 probiotics to help with my gut health and bacteria.
Now, do you do that at night?
I do.
Okay, because I've heard probiotics are really good at night.
Yes, I take those at night, and those are the Bioma probiotics. So it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff, but I mean, it is helping me. So I mean, it's totally worth it. But I'm like one of those old ladies with my big old pill box. It's so embarrassing. My kids are like,
"What?" My parents were though. Were your parents like that? My parents remember coming over to the house, and mom and dad would be like, they had like their big pile of pills, and
I know that's how I am.
Best if you can get it from food, like naturally, but if you can't, these are great options to kind of follow up on that.
Well, and it's so hard for women to get enough protein. I mean, they say you should have a gram of protein for each pound of body weight, right? So that's a lot of protein.
No. And you're supposed to drink half your body weight in water.
Yeah. So at least with the amino acids, I know I'm getting that 50 grams of protein just from that. So So
Yeah,
that's good.
I agree.
But anyway, what else was did you need
Okay,
to
so
check
let me kind
yourself?
of go through what I do. So in the morning, so I'm really digging this thing called Shilajit. It was
What?
that nasty black tar stuff I made you taste. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I work with this amazing girl who she loves like really healthy natural products, and so she got me turned on to this brand. It's called Organifit.
Oh, Organifi.
Yeah, and it's the Shilajit gummies. So they still taste like Sheila shit. It's disgusting. But it's either this or like it literally looks like a little bit of tar that you could put in your coffee, or you can just let it melt. But I'm not 100%. This is just kind of like my version of what it is, but I believe it's from the Himalayas, and it just basically helps you be healthier. So I'll do my little check yourself next week, and I'll find out exactly why we take Shilajit. But a lot of people are doing this. Like you mentioned now, and people kind of know what's going on. So I do
Yeah.
that in the morning. And then for my
Basically,
hair,
you're a follower.
exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
for my hair, I do ARMRA. I love this stuff.
Ooh.
We
Yeah, I
need
see that.
sponsors. So hopefully we'll have sponsors soon. But
Yeah.
this I really love. Now, ARMRA is colostrum. And it's really interesting because I feel like it's helping my immunity. And I don't know what else it does for you, but I really like it a lot. And it contains milk, but I don't get a stomach ache. I'm lactose intolerant, but it doesn't affect me. So I really like that. But I literally just dry scoop it in my mouth.
So it's like colostrum is what basically comes out first when you're breastfeeding. It's like the golden, what do they
Yeah.
call it? The golden something.
Yeah, like the golden milk or whatever, the
Yeah,
boobies.
golden. Yeah.
But this one I really like a lot because I feel like I have noticed a difference in my hair. So I used to have like the little clip-in extensions in the front to give me a little more volume, and now I don't have to do that at all. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
nice. And
nice.
then do whatever I would say if you're going to try ARMRA, do not get the flavored kind. I mean, unless you want to drink it in your water. But if
Yeah.
you're dry scooping, I did that. I don't even remember what the flavor was, but I almost choked to death. It was just so very strong tasting. But this one's almost like, have you ever had malted, like malt?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what this tastes like. So I
Okay.
love this stuff. And then I really love apple cider vinegar, but I don't necessarily like the flavor of it. So I've been using these,
Just like
the,
little gummies.
the bulletproof gummy
Nice.
vitamins. And so I'll eat 2 of these in the morning. And then I don't even know what black seed does for you, but I eat these like candy, you guys.
Okay. So April takes a lot of things that she doesn't know what they do for her.
I just know it feels good when I use them. April is going to let you guys know why I use all these. But hey, I like this brand for this black seed.
Black seed.
They taste like gummy bears.
Oh,
They're
I
so
like
good,
gummy bears.
so yummy. So I really, really like this one. This one, if they're vegan, I don't even know why, but black seed like that.
Okay.
And then of course I'm a mushroom girl. So I've really started loving these. It's called Alice. And these have all of your, like it has lion's mane, cordyceps. I can't pronounce it.
Are they adaptogens? Is that what they're called?
Yes. And so I just do one little square of this in the morning, and I feel like it gives me a little pep in my step. And then they have evening blend that I do too. So that's kind of my morning stuff. And then at night, and I'm also on an estrogen patch, the estradiol patch, like for our menopause symptoms. So I do estradiol patch. I tried the estradiol cream with testosterone mixed into it. You guys, I thought I was going to kill somebody. So get your testosterone checked. I thought I was low on testosterone because a lot of women are. Apparently, I was not. I was out, like in the red range. I think I was like 7.6 or something. And I think 3 is the highest. Like it's supposed to be like 0 to 3 or something. And I could feel the anger inside me like I've never felt before. Like it was.
You had rage. You had like roid rage.
And not for like no reason. You can't put, and that's something also with menopause. I think a lot of people, not only are we dealing with depression like never before, or maybe even for the first time in our life, but also this like rage. You're just like, I didn't feel like I could control my emotions. So thank God I have a friend who is a doctor, and she has suggested get off the testosterone cream immediately. And she gave me a supplement to kind of help flush that out of my body, which was good. So get your testosterone checked. If you are on any hormonal supplements through either your doctor or a functioning doctor, you need to be getting your blood work at least every 3 months to see, do you have too much?
Crazy.
Yeah. Cause I mean, at least for me, my body is very sensitive and it will react quickly to whatever I'm putting into it, which is good and bad. So, so I do that. I do the estrogen patch twice a week. So I do it on, like a Wednesday and a Saturday. And I feel like the patch has worked for me. I don't like how sometimes it'll irritate my skin, but at least that's what works for me. Yeah. And then I do progesterone also at night. And I do the same amount as you. And I feel like that helps me sleep.
Yeah.
It's really like that. And then at night, I do the progesterone. I'm going to start doing my amino acids. I love that you mentioned that. And then this has been my favorite magnesium supplement. Oh, yeah. You can just get it from Amazon, but it has like 7 different magnesiums in it. But I just do 2 of these a night. And I don't even know how to pronounce it. Is it Insertol? Have you heard of that? It's like a little powder you can put in your water. I like that too. It's like my little trifecta for my
nice.
But I used to be a melatonin girl, you guys. I loved melatonin, and I just read a couple articles that were suggesting that it might be adding to the blues that you might be feeling. It can cause a little depression.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Stopped that. And that's just something that, I mean, you guys, it's like you can read one article and it says this, and then another article and it says that. I would always suggest just do what you feel is best for you, because truly we are all different. So I liked the idea of taking melatonin because it's natural and it's something that's already in our bodies. But when I read that and they said, see how you feel off of it. If you really do wind down, I think that's the problem, is that we're not properly winding down in life. It's like, bed, you should have your lights turned down for 30 minutes. Like, you should turn down all of your lights in your house. You should try not to have TV, no blue light, no phone.
And I read a book.
Go to bed, especially as women, we'll say, okay, I'm going to bed. And after you've done all the dishes and everything else, right? And you're like, I love to button up my house. So I'll go through each room, kind of, chop the pillows, and because I like to wake up to some, really nice environment. But it's really interesting when you kind of wind down the right way. Maybe read for a little bit instead of going in your bed and scrolling on your phone. So try to wind down, try to give yourself some time to be in the dark a little bit. And then you can meditate. You could drink some golden milk. Were we just talking about that, you and I? Okay, maybe that might have been Michelle. But if you ever had did you ever try golden milk before? Really good. Super easy recipe. We'll link it as well. And it's basically whatever milk you like, which, by the way, April and I have learned that oat milk, I loved oat milk so much. And now figured out it was like pasta water, right?
Yeah, drinking starch water.
Oh my gosh. Why? Anyway, so your favorite milk. And if you are going to do milk, this is just my little shout out as a esthetician. Don't really like milk. We see it in the skin a lot. It'll show up as little bumps. It's very acidic, which is weird because you would think it wouldn't be. It's actually more acidic than coffee. But if you're going to do milk, if you can get raw milk, that is that's the way to go. And fat milk, So anyways, whatever milk you want. And then you're going to add turmeric to it, pepper, black pepper, cracked black pepper. And then you can add a little cinnamon. You can add a little syrup if you want a little sweetness. But anyways, you drink that before bed, and it's supposed to get you to be relaxed and go to sleep. So I like that.
Okay. I'll have to try that.
Yeah. I'm just really trying to honor myself and give myself a nice routine and try to get to bed at a normal time. You guys, how many times do we feel like we stay up way past our bedtime, and then you wake up and you're just mush in the morning? Yep. So I have heard that no matter what time you go to bed, if you wake up at the same time every day, that helps. Yes. So we might not always be able to control what time we go to bed, but if you always wake up at 6 a.m. or I don't know about you, but mine's more like 4:35, whether I like
you're crazy.
Turning into my mom. So anyways, that's like my little routine for that.
Great.
So, yeah.
One thing I will add before we need to probably get going to our actual topic, because we're 40 minutes in already.
Yes.
It's crazy how quickly
I know.
It gets to be time. But the other thing I forgot to mention is that creatine. So I take creatine every day, just a little scoop in my water. It's been awesome for my workout journey, trying to get back in better shape. It helps with my recovery. It helps with just making my muscles feel more toned and look more toned faster. And so I actually do it every day, even when I'm not working out. It's been great. And I know people, there's like, one of my girlfriends was like, well, doesn't that make you bulk up? No, creatine does not make you bulk up. And
It doesn't make you bloat.
no, do some research on it. Read about it, but especially women of our age, it's really great for them. So I've been doing that and it's kind of been a game changer. I really like it.
Good to
So
know.
that's our, that's our check yourself.
Yeah.
So thank you for bearing with us while we kind of cleared some stuff up. But now it's time for our actual topic, which is our metamorphosis in our 40s and 50s. Like we said, we like to call it our little renaissance. So let's get into it.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you want me to go ahead and get going, or do you want to talk about?
Go for it.
Okay. So I've changed a few times in my life, like we all do as women. I think I went through a big change in my throughout my 20s, I changed a ton, but I had, when I was 18, I lost my brother, and that changed the trajectory of my life forever. It kind of set me down a road, of where I was very unsure of what I wanted to do with my life. And so I moved to Seattle. April and I moved to Seattle together when we were 19 years old. Crazy.
I was scared as hell, you guys. I was so scared. Little town.
We left our families, we packed our cars, and we moved to Seattle, and it was amazing. But we also, there was a lot of growing and stuff. So the 20s, we had a great time. We had a lot of fun. And I did go to school. So I went to college and I worked, and it got to a point where I couldn't do both. I think my brother's death was weighing on me way too much, and I couldn't stay focused for school. And so I decided to put school on the back burner. And that's kind of why I never finished my college degree, just because I didn't know back then, but I had ADHD. And so just dealing with that trauma and grief, and then trying to figure out how to live on my own for the first time in a new city, it was just a lot. And so, I kind of I stumbled through my 20s a little bit. And then when I got into my kind of late 20s, I met someone and got married at 26, and that didn't last. It lasted a year. Great guy. Like, I don't have anything bad to say about him. It just wasn't the right time for me. And he wasn't the right person for me ultimately. So I moved on and, kind of struggled a little bit through that period in my life, feeling like a failure. And then shortly thereafter, I met my now husband, who is wonderful. And we, it was kind of like one of those love at first sight type things. And we've been happily married for almost 17 years, and we have 2 daughters. But I will say, I'm not going to make this too long and drawn out. I struggled through my 30s too. I loved being married to him. I love being a mom, but I did feel like I lost myself and my identity a bit. We decided very early on that he was going to be the one that went to work and I was going to be the one that stayed home, because his career had already kind of taken off. And while I had a ton of interests, I'd gone to culinary school. I wanted to work in food media in some capacity, but he had already kind of been, successful. And so he took the lead on taking care of our family, which was great. I couldn't have imagined back then having to go to work and leaving my kids. And so I feel very grateful that he gave me the opportunity to do that. But that doesn't mean that it was all roses. I struggled with who I was. I was the kid's mom and I was his wife, but who was I? And I kind of went in and out of, what am I going to do with my life outside of this, family? And it really wasn't until, I was in my 40s that I really had kind of, the balls to do something about it, because in my 30s, like I said, I didn't know who I was. I doubted myself. I didn't know what my worth was. And that's so sad. Like, I look back and I wish I would have had more confidence in myself. But I think because I wasn't maybe in the workplace or challenging my brain or doing something, I was taking care of little kids and making meals and being a wife. So again, I had a lovely life. I'm not saying it was anything other than, wonderful, but I had moments of like, what am I doing with myself? Who am I? And when I got into my 40s, I'll never forget. I was, it was we're kind of coming out of COVID, I think. And I remember I was folding laundry and I just started bawling.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I have to do something else. I have to do something other than, you know, run my kids around, wait on them hand and foot, take care of their laundry, help them clean up their rooms. I have to do something that challenges myself.
Mhm.
And I didn't, I never thought that I could do something and be a mom. Like, I don't understand how these women work full time and be a mom. I have the utmost respect because I don't know how I could balance all that. I know it's so hard being a mom, but being a working mom,
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
So I went to my husband and I was like, look, I've got to make a change. I really am interested in psychology, and I think through my own trauma and grief and all that, like, I've learned so much, and I'm like, I want to help other people. And I said, I really want to go back to school and finish my degree. I have something to give this world, and I really want to go back. And he was just like, then you need to do that. He was
Mhm.
100% supportive. And I thought he was going to be like, oh, this is just another one of April's harebrained. Cause I would come up with things I wanted to do all the
Yeah,
time.
as you should.
But by the way, every time he would be like, okay, you should totally do that. Like, he never once made me feel like I was stupid. So
Yeah.
um, but anyway, so I went back to school, and oh my gosh, it has given me like so much confidence. I can't even tell you what it's been like for me. I probably would not be sitting here doing this podcast if I hadn't done that, because
Yeah.
it just made me realize, like, it made me realize my worth. It made me realize that I had something to give back. I was a little bit nervous to go back to school and be around all these young kids as like a 40 something year old with two teenagers.
Mhm.
But you know what? It felt good because I was coming with so much life experience that I did so well. Like, I got straight A's. Like, I was a decent student, but I was never a straight A student. I mean, I got straight A's. I was like into it. I had good, you know, communication with the teachers because we were some of them I was older than,
Yeah.
but it was just so wonderful, and it just really changed my life. And I did take this semester off of school because I got my real estate license, and I'm kind of dabbling in real estate right now, but I want to go back and finish. I don't have that much left to finish my undergrad, and then hopefully maybe move on and get my master's maybe once my kids go to college. But it's just been so great for me. I mean, I can't even tell you what a different person I am. Like, I'm so happy. It's hard, but I'm just really proud of myself, and I'm glad I finally got the courage to make a change in my life.
Yeah.
So
And
that's
I'm
kind of
proud of
my
you too. I mean, I don't know if all of you know how hard it is to get your real estate license, but it is no joke. I mean, there's like months of studying and hours and of just cramming, and then you have to take the test. And do you have like two separate tests that you have to do? Like
Well, you
there's like
have the first test, which is just to get your license. And then after that, once you get your license, you have to do 90 hours of post-licensing
yeah,
courses and then a test to kind of get rid of your provisional status. So I still am finishing up that, which is why I took this semester off of school, because
yeah,
I'm like, I can't do regular school and then real estate.
yeah.
So I took a little detour off the road. But again, like I said to you before, it's like, yes, I have this idea of what I want to do. But if
Mhm.
something else happens along the way,
Yep.
then it's okay. Like, if I don't finish, fine. Yes, it's a goal of mine, but that doesn't mean something else might come along that really fires me up. Then I'm like, okay, no, I'm going to do this. I like doing this.
Yeah.
So it's just, I think, just getting out there and trying new things too. The other thing is, we've moved a lot. I've had to start over a ton. And, every time, I think it sets you back a little bit. I left all my friends.
Yeah.
So having to make new friends, especially in your 40s, is really hard, like
Yeah.
really hard.
Mhm.
But it's okay. Like, it's been fine. And I'm making friends. And also, coming out of COVID, it was hard because nobody really wanted to interact with other people. They just stayed in their little pods. And but yeah, I mean, I just think there's just something special that happens to women when we we get into our 40s and 50s. It's just, like I think I said in one of our last episodes, it's like, how come I couldn't have the confidence and that brain and that confidence and that, youthful face and youthful body all in one, it would have been kind of a dangerous combo. But you know what? I'm so excited about being in my 40s. And like I said, I feel like I have my whole life ahead of me. So,
And you do.
yeah.
I mean, I've heard that life before 50 is a warm up.
Yep.
It's like warming up, and I just think you're so worthy. And I think you impress the crap out of me. I'm so proud of you. And I'm one of your biggest cheerleaders. So I'm right here on the sidelines with my popcorn and, just cheering you on. And I think it's great. So, something that's really neat too about us chasing after our dreams, you guys, is you give other people permission to do the same.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I think, we're like you were saying, if it would have been any other time, you might not have wanted to come on here and be vulnerable and put yourself out there. It's hard.
It really is.
If you could just get to the point where you're like, you know what, if I can inspire one person to speak up too, or share their whatever they want to do, then that it's like a domino effect.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, I had the opportunity when I was, I moved to New York City when I was 29, and I went to culinary school as I wanted to get a culinary degree and work in food media. And that was about the time when people were starting to put more stuff online, like YouTube, and kind of creating their own content.
Yeah.
We had Facebook.
Yeah.
Maybe we were starting
around 2006 or something, right?
Maybe MySpace. We had something. Can you remember MySpace?
Yeah.
But people were starting to put content online. They're starting to do more YouTube videos. And I remember someone telling me, you need to just do your own cooking show and put it on. And I was terrified.
No.
I did not feel worthy. I'm like, why would people want to watch me? I am not good. People are going to make fun of me. But I could have done something back then. I just was too afraid to put myself out there. So now I'm like, you know what? People can listen if they want. They don't have to. But I feel like we have some valuable information that they might want. And you guys, especially, we're going to start interviewing people, and we're going to have guests on who are amazing women. So you're not just going to listen to us talking all the time. This is just kind of like a precursor to, let you know a little bit about us and our lives and what we're doing. But yeah, no, we're going to have a lot of great content moving forward. So,
and it's fun. I'm really enjoying this. Like, it's so much fun. So find something that brings you joy, find something that lights you up, and do more of that. That's something that I've learned. And to go into, my little renaissance, if I'll make it quick, but, so basically, obviously April and I both grew up in a small town. We moved away right after high school. And I was raised with the idea of your only worth is to be a mother and a wife. Like, that was like my ultimate goal, is to get married as quick as I could and have as many kids as I can. And I bought into it, and I've always been very creative, a little wild, thinking outside the box. And I remember in my 20s, we were in Washington together, kind of sowing our wild oats, as you should in your 20s. Yeah. And I remember there was this moment where I basically had this feeling of like, if you don't get your act together now, you're never going to find somebody, and you're going to miss that boat, kind of thing, which now I know you can't miss your boat. Your boat is your boat. Mm-hmm. Might be docked for a while or in a storm, or but your boat will be your boat. So let go of that idea of like, oh my gosh, it's too late. It's never too late. And what's meant to be will be, right? So I get married, and that we can even talk about that another time. But that was kind of a crazy thing, because my husband and I both grew up in a high demand religion. And we got married on our 5th date. So I married a stranger, basically, and we started dating after getting married. So that had its own complications in itself. And, thank goodness we both believed in the same thing, but it was really, really tough. I've felt my whole life that I couldn't really just be myself, and that feels like crap. So that's something that in my 40s, I've been able to just say, I don't care anymore, and this is who I am. So that's really nice. But we were together. He was a military guy, so we moved all the time too, as you know. And that was really tough with like little kids. But we had our family, we had our 3 kiddos. And it was wonderful. And that was my purpose. I mean, I loved being a mama. Loved it, loved it, loved it. I loved the holidays. You guys, I was like a Pinteresty mom before Pinterest existed, and I loved it, and it was super fun. But what happened was I lost myself because I was so poured into them.
Yeah.
And, you know, if we could give anybody advice, like, don't do that, because if you really want to be a great mama, you have to be a happy mama.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever that is, you know, I mean, it definitely brought me joy to do all the little crafty stuff, but I totally lost myself. And
Yeah.
so I'm trying to find, like, at 47 years old, like, what do I like? What do I believe in? What do I not believe in? So we went through those years of raising the kids, and we were younger parents. We got married at 22, and I had my first at I was just barely 23. So we were very young, and we made a lot of mistakes because we were young. And so we finally got through. I mean, my youngest is 17, so he's still growing up. But my big renaissance, my big awakening has just happened, like, within the last, 7 years, like around when I first turned 40. So I lost my father. So I also lost a brother too, you guys. So that's something that April and I have in common, unfortunately. And that was a huge wake up call. But what it did was, because I was in a high demand religion, it made me, like, double down on that. And I thought I had control over my life. So I was, like, super, super duper controlling at that time. And then fast forward, a decade later, and I lose my dad. And that just rocked my world. Like, it was just, he was the moon of our family. He held everybody together. And when he died, I definitely, part of me died.
Mm-hmm.
And and then it just kind of makes you, like, think to yourself, what am I doing? Am I satisfied? Am I fulfilled? And what that caused me to do was to start deconstructing everything. So I went from thinking I had it all figured out, I had the answers to everything, and then I dug a little deeper into my religion, into my marriage, into my life, into my goals and dreams, and everything just fell apart. So that will be an episode for another time, but that's been extremely hard for me. But I feel like I'm just kind of turning the corner on that too. And I'm feeling hopeful, and I'm feeling like there's light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm excited for what it will bring. So losing your religion and losing your belief system is a trip. But a lot of times, I went to talk therapy for a few years as I was going through that. And she was saying that, it's a beautiful thing. Like we were saying, it's your renaissance in your 40s, because you realize what your life is all about. And so that's something that I've been trying to kind of slowly unwind. It's like pulling that string on the wool sweater that's no longer comfortable, and it just never stops. You're like, enough, okay, slow down. But it's exciting at the same time.
Yeah.
And so I'm learning how to show up for myself. I'm learning boundaries. I'm learning how to be responsive instead of reactive. And I'm just trying to reinvent myself completely. So that has been something that's been really eye-opening, but exciting. And then deep, deep down inside, I've always had this dream to be an actress, and to, of course, be on a Hallmark movie. That's, like, my biggest dream of all. But even if that's, I know, I love you, but even if it doesn't, I'm having so much fun in the process. And I think that's the thing is, like you were saying, you want to finish your degree, but even if you didn't, you're still happy and you're fulfilled and you're a whole person. And so that's my point, is, like, find something that just brings you joy and do so much of it, and I am the type of personality that I'm a questioner. So it's like, it might work for a little bit and then I get bored, or I want to try something new. So don't feel like you're stuck in a career or a workout plan or an eating, anything. It's like, change it up, make it
You can
exciting.
always pivot. You can always pivot.
And sometimes that makes it more fun.
Yep.
So anyway, so that's kind of been my journey and my purpose. So I'm still in the middle of it, but I'm just doing a lot more of what brings me joy. And I love that. And my kids notice, they're like, Mom, I'm so proud of you for putting yourself out there at 47, going on auditions. And, you say you're surrounded by younger people. Me too, not necessarily the roles I'm going out for, but the acting classes. But you know what? If you show up confident and you show up willing to have fun, and I really don't care what I look like anymore. I don't mind making a fool of myself. I think it's funny. Like, there's joy in that for me. And that only came with age.
Well, and a lot of times you got to fake it till you make it, and I've gotten pretty good at that.
Yeah.
And it's
not the permission to do the same.
Yeah. And it's not faking, like pretending to be someone you're not. It's just like maybe just faking that you're confident, because most people don't know, they don't know it all. I mean, no one knows it all, but you know what I mean? No.
Yeah.
I saw this quote the other day.
Then you need to grow. Like, no one knows it all.
Yeah. I saw this quote the other day, and I'm going to see if I can find it.
Okay.
because it's exactly what we're talking about. And I screenshot things all the time.
Yeah, me
And
too.
if I
And I
can't
love a
find it,
quote. I love a quote.
I know.
While you're looking it up too, I wanted to mention also with the whole menopause and supplements and stuff, I forgot to mention, you guys, osteoporosis is something that you really have to be careful of too. So make sure you're getting your calcium in, your green leafy vegetables. I heard that broccoli has more calcium than milk. That's crazy to think.
Hmm.
And you want to get like your spinach in, but we can get that brittle bone, where you could fall and fracture a bone, but definitely make sure you're having enough calcium. And with calcium, you need to have magnesium and that vitamin D with K too.
Hmm.
It needs to all go together. So do your research. We'll link these as well. But that was kind of shocking to me. I didn't realize that alcohol, caffeine or carbonated drinks and coffee can all take away from your calcium.
Wow, that's
Bone health.
crazy.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have a nutritionist on soon, and she's going to talk to us about all that, especially women's health, going through menopause and things we should be eating. She's a big proponent on the raw milk, raw butter, full
Good.
fat. She's going to drop some knowledge. Oh, here. So this isn't the one I was looking for, but I saw this the other day and I had to screenshot it because it's so perfect. Heather
Okay.
actually posted it on her
Yes.
page.
Okay.
And
Okay.
it says, all you need is a little delusion and audacity, and you can seriously do anything in this life.
Yes.
So
I
true.
love that.
It's so true. I love that so
Audacity is
much.
a really fun word too.
I
I
love
was,
the word
yeah,
audacity
I
because
was
it can be
following,
used like good, or it could be like, I mean, the audacity,
right.
you know?
Or you could say, I have like the audacity to think I'm going to make it into a Hallmark movie. I have
You
that audacity.
do.
Yeah.
You do.
I love that.
So when you were talking about kind of your spiritual journey, and I'm so proud of you for, leaving a high demand religion. It's been a roller coaster, you guys, and we're going to do a big episode about it. It's very interesting. It's scary and eye-opening, what April's been through, but she's kind of been on this spiritual journey. And, I've always been a very proud atheist.
Yeah.
And recently, though, I'm starting to question that a bit. Um, I've had some recent kind of spiritual experiences that are hard for me to explain with my atheism. But it's like I'm okay. Look, I would be glad to be wrong. It's just that that's just what I believe. I believe that this is it.
Yeah.
And I would be so glad to be wrong. And so for me, it's like just taught me to be curious.
Yep.
I mean, and get out there and learn about, whatever. So like for me, I still don't believe in organized religion or God, but perhaps there is, something out there. I mean, who
Yeah.
knows? So
That's
like
a
I
beauty
said, just
too.
stay
Yeah.
curious in all aspects of your life, really.
Stay curious. And also you guys be kind to others. That's something that coming from a high demand religion, I realized how judgmental I was. And even thinking like, oh, I'm not a judgmental person. But really don't think like I think that since COVID, especially, we have lost the art of communication and conversation.
Hmm.
And it's such a sad thing. We used to be able to sit down and, enjoy a cup of coffee or tea or water and have these amazing, deep conversations with people and find out like what you believe in, what I believe in. And I don't know if you guys can hear Emma in the
Yeah.
background right now.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm a mom. There's people in my house. But anyways, but I think we went from having conversations and like sharing our life experiences and being open and curious to I'm right and you're wrong. Like,
Well, and the fact that if someone doesn't agree with you, especially politically, you can't be their friend.
oh my gosh. And I
I
mean,
mean,
we've seen
I
it
I
happen.
really hope that's going out of style soon because
Yeah.
it's so stupid. Like,
Yeah.
it's okay to have a conversation with someone that
Yeah.
shares a different view than you. That
Exactly.
actually makes it more interesting.
I agree.
So, shut up and listen,
Mhm.
and then,
Sure.
yeah, shut up and listen to what the person has to say, and
Yep.
then just listen to a different point of view. Understand why they believe what they believe, and then
Exactly.
you can say why you believe. There's no reason why you can't have like an adult conversation with this. But we've just become the society of um, just well, if you don't agree with me, then we can't
Right.
be here. That
Yeah.
is
It needs
so
to be right.
lame. Come on.
And like you were saying, I don't want to be around people that only believe in the things I do. Some of the most diverse, amazing, just eye-opening friends of mine don't have the same beliefs as me, you know? And so, and that's, I feel like we need to get back into that and not feeling so much like I'm going to prove that I'm right. Instead, like, I want to be more curious. Tell me more. If you're not tell me more in a conversation, that's a good cue that maybe not.
Exactly. I've gotten over the need to feel like I need to be right all the time. Like you said, I just want to learn about why other people believe what they believe.
Yeah.
That's what makes this world interesting. So anyway, we don't need to go off on that tangent, but I did want to, you know, just reiterate that, you know, the big reason we wanted to do this podcast is to introduce you guys not only to ourselves and tell you our stories, but also to introduce to you all the beautiful, smart, and talented friends that we have just between the two of us.
Absolutely.
I mean, we started talking about our friends and what they do, and we're just like, they need to be heard. So we're going to have them on. We're so lucky to know these women. They offer so much to our world. And so we're going to invite them on here to talk, to educate us and to share their knowledge and expertise with you guys. And we are just thrilled to support these women. And
it's going to be fun.
It's going to be really fun. We're going to learn so much.
Yes.
And it's, you know, like I said, some of the episodes will just be you and I, and we still have some more stories to tell. We're going to have a grief episode. We're going to have an episode on healing yourself after leaving a high demand religion. But again, it's not all going to be sad. We're going to laugh through it too.
Yes. Cause we love to giggle. That's one of our
we do love a good giggle.
So okay. Bad comedy place.
Yeah. We're not going to be talking about our junk. Don't worry.
I know. Gosh. Oh my gosh.
Okay. So to end each episode, we thought it would be fun to do a one and done. So it's like our favorite thing for the week, our one favorite thing. So this is our one and done. Like, got to have it this week. So why don't you start with your one and done?
Okay. So my one and done this week is, I don't know about you guys, but I love those little under eye patches. And I feel like I'm constantly on the lookout. Well, and even like as an esthetician, I have still not found an eye cream that I'm totally in love with. I have some that are okay, but some of them will make my eyes burn or whatever. So these eye patches, the company is called Peace Out. Cute. And these are the retinol eye patches. But what's different about these is you can get the little under eye patches that everybody has seen, and those are great. They give you hydration, but these have the retinol in it. And so that's really nice. And I like that they go around the eye like this. Yeah. So it's really nice. I don't know if I can show you.
You had those on when we were FaceTiming the other day, and I was like, ooh, I need to get those.
So not only does it go, you know, where it normally goes, but it also goes on top of your lid. And it's so nice, and it's hydrating, and it feels good, and it didn't irritate my skin. But I love the Peace Out company. I really like all the stuff that they offer too. I think that's the name of the
How much are those?
You know, I don't even know. I don't know a lot, guys. I just get whatever I want. But I think it's not, they weren't ridiculous. It wasn't a ridiculous amount of money, but you keep them on until they dry out.
Probably a few bucks.
Yeah. I'd say maybe like less than 20 or something. But, and I just got them from Sephora. I think they're probably at Ulta. You might even be able to order them from Amazon. But this is my one and done. I love it, and I highly recommend them. You'll like them too. So
yeah, you gave me a pair. I still need to try.
Yes.
Okay, so my one and done is I don't know if you can see it, the Victoria Beckham eyeliner.
Yes.
It is her eyeliner, her whole makeup brand is so amazing. So it's
got on your hand, April, how buttery soft it comes out.
So it's got the smudger on one side, but it smudges so nice. Like, oh wait, hold on. How do I do this?
You're being an influencer now. Yeah.
I know. But it like smudges, like I'm not doing it like any
very
justice,
soft. Yeah.
But it's very soft. It's called Satin Kajal. And it is like satin, and it smudges so perfect.
Yeah.
It's like the best eyeliner I've ever used in my life.
Yeah.
And it goes on like butter.
Yeah.
When I say butter, it's like you're not like trying to get it. It's like butter. It just slides on. It's so good. It's $32, so it's a little pricey, but it lasts a long time, and it's totally worth it. And then I just figured I would show you this too. This is her lip gloss.
Love the lip glosses too.
And this is glass, and this is like tortoise shell. It's so pretty. I mean, her stuff is, it's posh. You know, she's so major.
Put it on so we can see what the color is. I really like her.
This one's called, okay, I'm going to pull out my granny glasses because I can't see. This one's called Bungalow, But I have 2 other colors. I have Bikini and Martini.
Oh, I love the names. I want that job.
I know, right?
Yeah, that's real. Now, do you have lip liner on or anything?
I had a little on from before, but
okay, that's really pretty. Is it super sticky?
Nope. It's like smooth. It's not like, you know how the MAC lip gloss, whenever it's super sticky, this is like creamy.
Okay.
So her stuff is the best.
Yeah, she hit it out of the park. And not all celebrities can do that, but
she's the real deal. She's the real deal. I love her.
From Sephora, Ulta, where do you get those from?
I ordered it online.
Okay, so from her website.
I ordered it from her website, and it comes in. I wish I had it. So I bought April some Victoria Beckham for her birthday, because we always buy each other our favorite things for each other's birthday. So we kind of collect things throughout the year that we love, and then we'll give them to each other for a birthday. So it also comes in this little canvas makeup bag that says Victoria Beckham. So it's great because you kind of get like a free little gift bag whenever you order stuff from her.
Yeah, it's just high end. You get your bang for your buck with that.
You do. So, it's definitely a splurge, but you deserve it.
That's good. Okay, so our one and dones, you guys, that's this week. Thank you so much for sticking with us. We went a little over, but it is what it is. It's okay.
It's okay.
We're so appreciative for all of your guys' support, and this is just so much fun, and we're just going to keep doing it because we are fine. Neither are you. Right?
We'll get it down. Well, also really quick before we sign off, you guys comment and like our pages or rate us, depending on if you're listening to us on Spotify or you're watching us on YouTube. We would love your feedback. Because like I said, we're a work in progress. We're just figuring this out. So any feedback would be great, or any words of encouragement to keep us going would be great too. So we love you guys. Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye, you guys.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to We Are Fine and Neither Are You. This podcast is all about spreading joy, knowledge, and laughter. While we strive to provide accurate information, please keep in mind that we're only human and mistakes happen. In addition, we would like to remind our listeners that the opinions expressed throughout this episode are for entertainment and informational purposes only. We do not claim to be experts in any particular field, and the content provided should not be taken as professional advice. We encourage you to consult with qualified professionals or do your own research before making any decisions based on the information shared in this podcast. Thank you for joining us, and remember to stay curious and critical in your pursuit of knowledge. Please rate and review this episode. Your feedback is important to us.